Well, a couple of weeks ago, we started this conversation about wisdom. We began by looking at James, a couple of places there where he talks about this wisdom from above, and if we would desire that kind of wisdom, we need only ask God for it. And then last week we looked at the Proverbs, and particularly at this idea of the fear of the Lord and what that means and how it's connected to wisdom. And so I thought it would be helpful for us this week to look at Solomon, the person responsible for writing those Proverbs, and just look at this prayer that he prayed in 1 Kings chapter 3, the same kind of prayer that James is telling us to pray. And so let's look there. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 5. At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask what I shall give you." And Solomon said, "You have shown great and steadfast love to your servant David, my father, because he walked before you in faithfulness, in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart toward you. And you have kept for him this great and steadfast love, and have given him a son to sit on his throne this day. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of David my father. Although I am but a little child, I do not know how to go out or come in, and your servant is in the midst of your people whom you have chosen, a great people, too many to be numbered or counted for multitude. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil, for who is able to govern this, your great people?" There are so many marks in that passage alone of the humble spirit of Solomon. And wisdom must be marked by a spirit of humility. If we think we already know it all, that we've got all the answers, we've figured it out, then we're not going to come to God like this. We may come demanding this or that, but we're not going to come in humble dependence and trust in Him for those things that we lack, to cover our weaknesses. Solomon says, I'm but a little child. I don't know how to go in and go out. How am I going to govern this great people? And notice he doesn't say my great people. He says your great people. And so we don't know how old Solomon was when he became king. The Bible doesn't tell us. He refers to himself as a little child, but I wouldn't think too little, because just before this prayer he's been married. And so however old he is, he approaches the throne, and the throne of God. Not many young people are marked for their humility. Not many young people admit that they don't know it all. And so for Solomon to do this is remarkable. For Solomon to look to God and be able to request anything he likes, and yet say, I need help. I need help with the task you've given me. You've been good to my father. Please show me what I need to do to rule well. And so this is the prayer that he prays. This is the prayer that, if we would like wisdom, this is the prayer we must pray. To come to God, admitting, I don't understand. I don't know how to do this or what to do. I need your help. Then not only will God answer, but I want you to notice it said in verse 10, it pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this. God is not bothered by this prayer. God loves this prayer. It brings him pleasure to hear someone like Solomon in this great position come to him and submit himself before the wisdom of God. So as we wrap up this talk about wisdom, I pray that we can come to God with that same humble attitude, asking for the wisdom that we need.